Yo, welcome back to the Nerds with Glasses podcast. I'm your host, Knowledge.
And I'm Javi. What's up, guys? Here at Nerds with Glasses, we give you all our favorite, or I guess an insight to our favorite news of the day.
Yeah,
of the week. I'm sorry.
Of the week, man. Of the week. Honestly, the big thing coming up right now is Destiny.
Yeah, I mean, oh my god, I can't. The game comes out tomorrow. We were able to preload it, so you know it's gonna be. I think this game. I really hope it's. I mean, from the beta, it's already amazing.
Yeah.
So I hope that we get the full kind of like excitement when we play it fully now.
I definitely like the multiplayer. That's what I'm looking forward to see. Like how much more it is, how good the maps are. Hopefully they don't feel all the same.
Right.
But we've talked plenty about Destiny before. We had a whole Destiny edition before. So you know we'll leave that to next week to talk about what our thoughts is after playing the game.
But before let's talk about the trailer that recently came out.
Oh yeah. What's it called? The live action trailer. You said that it reminded you of
Guardians of the Galaxy. It had a very, I mean, obviously interstellar space travel and whatnot. But just even the tone of the game, like Vegas, or what was it?
It's Venus,
baby.
Venus, baby. Yeah, if you guys don't know, it's like a common phrase when people go to Vegas. They say Vegas, baby.
Yeah,
Vegas.
and you have I think it was a Titan.
Yeah,
he's like Vegas, Venus, baby.
You keep fucking it up. Venus, baby.
I'm so used to it, but yeah. It even had just like Guardians of the Galaxy had like a kind of like a weird song for it.
Yeah,
I mean it fit.
It fit perfectly.
It fit perfectly. This would also fit perfectly.
Yeah.
Though I wish Jack Black rode by on a sparrow, you know?
Yeah, because the song was the Led Zeppelin, the Immigrant song. And then,
I hear Jack Black all the time now.
Yeah, even though obviously that's a famous Led Zeppelin song, but it's from School of Rock when they're like in the band. He's like, ah! It's just fucking, you can just see his face. His hilarious face. No, yeah, the trailer was good, and we're talking about. I was saying I was really happy that they decided to do something humorous.
Serious.
Yeah, like something humorous, because I love humorous stuff. I love serious stuff, and the game itself, most of the promotion has been on the serious side. You know. Yeah, so it's nice to see them switch it up, you know, to show the other hand.
You know, a lot of first-person shooters have that tone.
Yeah.
I think one of the few that don't is Borderlands, but that's complete. Like even Sunset Overdrive has that.
Yeah.
No holds barred like humor tone.
And that's not even a first-person shooter. Yeah, that's just an adventure game. But yeah, if you think of any first-person shooter, Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield, they're all like super serious, and like that's not a. I mean, like I said, it's not a bad thing. Like I love Halo, I love all the Call of Duty stories, but it's just cool to see them switch it up,
especially with the magnitude of this game.
Yeah, and you can kind of see it anyways already. Like even just like the whole dance movement, like you know, you press.
Dude,
you.
I forgot which character does it. The little point.
Yeah.
Just point. Dance battle.
Let's go. Hit the robot from '84, man. Yeah, dude. So I mean, the game obviously has some humor to it, and plus because the whole game is built around people playing together and having fun. So,
yeah, and it really felt like, you know, these random, not necessarily random, but these just ragtag group got together and was like, let's go fight these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I wonder how much clues they were giving about the game too, because they showed some stuff I've never seen before. Like there's a part where he like teleports.
Yeah, like I know how to say hello in every.
Yeah, every language. It looks like he could say goodbye too.
That was cool. I'm sure. I mean, unfortunately, I didn't get to play the Destiny beta extreme amount. I didn't get to max out all the skills. Yeah. So maybe that was in the skills.
It could have been. That's right. I mean, you're right. That could have been, but I don't remember seeing it at all. Exactly. Like, so I was like, whoa, are we gonna be able to do that? That's pretty cool, you know.
And I just love the whole, like, imagining me playing with 3 friends, each a different class, you know, just going through. But
Fire team, baby.
Fire team. One of the cool things, or one of the things I'm very excited actually about is I don't have an Xbox One right now or a PS4. I have the 360 and I'm getting Destiny for 360.
Yeah.
And they recently gave out some news that if you have the digital copy of if you purchase the digital copy of Destiny, you get a free Xbox One or PS4 upgrade.
Yeah. And that's an amazing. Well, okay, so if you purchase the digital copy of the Xbox 360, you will able to get a free.
It's a family thing, so it has to be part of the same.
Yeah, same line of
so
console.
Xbox to Xbox One, and then PlayStation to PlayStation 4.
So that's really cool. I mean, at first people thought, we're like, oh shit, we're gonna be, you know, like the actual physical game was like, no, you gotta buy the digital copy, which makes perfect sense. Is that way?
My pre-order now.
Cancel and then reorder it on digital.
Yeah.
But that's a really good deal. I mean, and I like that they're doing that because I mean, obviously it's a good deal regardless, but that just shows that they're trying to kind of unify the stuff together.
It's really gonna push people. I mean, not push people, but I expect. I mean, yes, I hope this is what I mean. What they're hoping for is this will push people to get the next gen.
Yeah, because they can buy it on their previous gen,
and then they have them.
Yeah, because for them it makes sense because. I mean, we already know their business model is gonna be like buying skins, buying DLC, all that type of shit. I know that, like I know that's their business model. I for a fact because that's a like MMO type game, you know. So it has to be. So it makes sense that they'll do that. Yeah, they might lose a little bit of money about giving away a free game for the Xbox One, but in the long run, they'll make more money.
I mean, not that many people. Some people will buy it already now for the Xbox One, so they already have that money there. So people are already buying it for the 360. They have that money there. This is more for people that are on the fence about what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I was conflicted too because, I mean, I have an Xbox One and I want to play it on the Xbox One. I have a PS4 as well, but most of my friends are going to be on Xbox One. So I want to play it on the Xbox One, but I still have a group of friends who play on the 360. So I was like, I don't know where I should get it. I ended up pre-ordering it for the Xbox One just because that's, you know, that I want the better graphics, and eventually everybody's going to switch over. But yeah, it's cool for people like, but see, for me, I'm a different type of person too, where I like having the box.
That is
you know, like I want to have the box for my collection.
That's true. That's very true. Actually, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't mind having a digital library, but it is nice having that that hard copy.
Yeah, it kind of feels more real when you have the box.
I think it's like a better example would be like books.
Yeah.
Like I mean, digital books are fine, but I'd much rather have a physical book.
Yeah, me too. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
But okay. But speaking of, you know, deals and stuff, I think Xbox has tried to make a little push recently to sell more consoles. They're recently going to come out with more. They're going to be launching in more countries in September.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know if this is going to be included in all the countries, but there's going to be a kind of a free game with people that buy the Xbox One now.
Yeah, and it said any game that's $60, which is every game is $60.
Right.
So or less. No game costs more than that unless it's like a limited edition
or
it's
like one that includes Game of the Year stuff.
Yeah, even those are like $60.
Like the definitive edition, did that
60?
Cost? Oh, that was 60
or less, 50 even.
Oh wow!
And then they're definitely less. They better be because you're getting an old fucking game.
Right.
But or something like Disney Infinity that comes with the thing, with the little pad that will cost more. Whatever. Regardless of the point, you'll be able to get any fucking game you want.
Yeah, this goes up until September 13th, so you need to kind of get on that.
Jump on it, if you don't have it.
But I think it's really good on their part.
Do you remember if it was? Are you gonna get a physical copy or a digital copy?
I think it's at the retailer, so I think it's physical.
That'd be sick because I remember even when we went to go buy the Wii,
we got Mario Kart.
Yeah, we got Mario Kart because it had a free deal for a game, and then I was like, oh, it's digital, and I was like, all right, like I was like, okay, thanks for the free fucking game.
Like, you're so mad. Thanks for the $50. Are they $50? I don't know.
Yeah, like they're 60 too.
Oh, they're okay. I forgot, but yeah,
those are probably like 40 by that time. But whatever, I was just like, yeah, dude, thanks
Mario
for the free game, motherfucker. Like. I was such a brat, like, what the hell's wrong with me?
Walking out of the store all pouty and shit.
You just got the best deal in the world and you're still mad? God. No, I hope they start selling. I mean, I don't know. We haven't got any real sales figures in a while, but I know they've been selling well.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely getting outsold, but...
Oh, yeah, but there's something like... Stuff like this will
in the long run, I think they'll even out. Right now, it's too early. Like, you know, it's way too early to have real like sides.
To me, you can't judge the console war until each console has like a premier exclusive out, and neither one of them has like a premier like console seller.
I mean, Yeah, like these aren't. I'm not saying these are premiere, but we have Rise for the Xbox, and
Forza, Dead Rising.
Yeah,
and
is that Xbox? Oh, it is. You're right.
Forza. I mean, I guess you could say Forza, but not really. It's just really just like a specific person. Ah, well, whatever. Besides the fact, and then PlayStation has Infamous and Knack and Killzone, but like, you can't even. To me, it's like until Halo 5 comes out and until
it's not a Smash Brothers. It's not a Halo. It's not a
Uncharted,
a God
of War, or like a new Last of Us or something. Yeah. But I think it's a good deal, and we'll see. Maybe PlayStation will do something too. I remember when PlayStation 4 came out, they had the sickest deal in the whole world. Really? They had a buy one get one free.
What?
Yeah, that when I got the PlayStation 4, I literally went to buy like a bunch of games. I bought like just because it was such a good fucking deal. Yeah,
I know they're coming out recently with like a metallic slime metal or something. Like it's a metallic color, I guess it's grayish, and it has like a little slime thing.
I think it's like Dragon Quest edition.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It looked ugly.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't like the color, but I was just like, oh. Yeah. And there's one that's gonna come out, or possibly coming out, which is the Sunset Overdrive white Xbox One, which is what I want. It looks sick.
The Advanced Warfare one looks sick.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
That looks fucking amazing.
Okay.
But yeah, so our next story.
Robin
Williams. Right. Oh yeah, that's right.
So Robin Williams, as most of you know, died a few weeks back.
Rest in peace.
It was a kind of a sudden thing for most people. We didn't expect it.
Yeah.
But recently, I read a story that World of Warcraft is kind of playing a homage to him.
Yeah. They're gonna put the genie.
Yeah, a genie. Right? A genie. Yeah. They have basically, apparently someone found an interactive lamp that summons a genie called Robin. It's in the Warlords of, I can't say the last, Dernok or something like that.
Yeah.
It's an expansion. And it's a genie that, comes out, and he has actually, I guess, two of his catchphrases, which is like, the infinite power of the cosmos, right?
Yeah.
Itty bitty. So it has this, and it has other little, trick or trinkets that they throw into like titles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Apparently. So I thought that was really cool. He was apparently I didn't know this. He was an avid World of Warcraft player. I mean, I know he loved video games. I just didn't know, he was a avid.
He was an avid.
Yeah.
I mean, he was an avid gamer overall from what I've read and heard, and I mean, he named his daughter Zelda.
Right.
Because of Zelda from the game, not Zelda from John Steinbeck's book, or
the singer.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I see where it's proper to pay him homage. I remember they were having this argument because there was a petition that went out right after he died, where fans wanted Disney, or not Disney, they wanted Nintendo to kind of pay a homage to him in the new Zelda game. And I think Nintendo just didn't respond at all to anything of it because I guess there's some stigma there because he committed suicide,
right?
Which I can understand, but I mean, I don't know. It's not like I agree with suicide at all, but at the same time, he gave so much to our childhoods.
Right. I think you had told me I forgot who told me, someone part of his contract when he was signed, I believe it was him, you had to hire a homeless person. I remember I read this somewhere that he had his part of his contract was as an extra, some homeless person had to be casted.
That's sick. No, I didn't even know that. Yeah. He was very giving, and I mean, it's not like I found all his stuff funny, but I just have fond memories of like Jumanji or
yes,
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire. I loved Hook.
Yeah. Oh, I loved. So people hated that movie. Rufio, he was good in that movie too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It sounds weird just because it's not like he was in video games, but just because he was part of your childhood, you kind of lump it all together, like Nintendo
nostalgia. That's nostalgia, like all this like Nintendo, Zelda, Hook. I mean, especially Jumanji. That movie is just in my head forever.
Yeah, it is, and I don't know. Well, hopefully Nintendo does kind of like man up and do it too. I don't see why not. Maybe they can, and he'd be a perfect type of character to be like in a Zelda game, just a quirky, like maybe just like a little jingle guy type. It could be
What's his name? Jingle.
Yeah, just Tingle? Tingle. Yeah, like the guy with the Tingle map. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they'll do it, but I don't know. Still sad. I don't know. Robin Williams was just like he was Oh, Good Will Hunting. I don't know.
Oh my god! Yeah, I've honestly that movie I forgot about it completely.
Yeah,
I was thinking more
childlike stuff. Yeah, I mean,
because he was a great drama.
He was a great dramatic actor when he wanted to be.
Yeah,
when he chose those roles, he was. Yeah. Well, all right. So our next story.
Yes. So getting away from comedy, apparently Warner Brothers has mandated, which I don't know where this is coming from. Like, I don't know who says this.
I know,
but
right?
They mandated
the word of God. The word of God said. Now. No, yeah. Apparently, it's on page 45. Yes. Like,
what is it? John 3:16.
Yeah.
No jokes.
No jokes.
What?
So, from Warner Brothers Studios, they mandated that in all their future DC movies, there will be no jokes.
What does that even mean?
I don't understand
that. I mean, I don't even think the most serious movies don't have jokes in them.
Yeah, I mean, like, what the fuck?
I mean, obviously, I can't think of it off the top of my head because I'm thinking of it now, but if you know a movie where there's absolutely no jokes at all, let us know so we can see what it is. But I just can't imagine movies of superheroes not having any jokes.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be fun, like, in humor. Okay, so let's dive into this because we had an argument about this earlier. So, Guardians of the Galaxy is an excellent movie.
Right.
I haven't seen it yet.
So according to everyone.
According to everyone who ever lived, it's a great movie. I didn't like the trailer when it first came out, and I knew a lot of people who didn't like the trailer. Mm-hmm. Did you know a lot of people?
Yeah, a lot of people were kind of thrown off by the humor of it.
Okay, so we had this argument about like, oh, people just don't like humorous things or people or whatever, and then I was thinking about it, and I think it was just expectations. Like, and we've talked about this before, like in The Last of Us, about how expectations can ruin things. I don't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that it was supposed to be funny.
Yeah, the characters are a little bit humorous, especially, Peter Quill, Star-Lord. Yeah. Which is why I think that it was such a great cast that they did.
Yeah, he worked perfectly, as you said. And like a lot of people told me that. They're like, I can't even see anybody else in that role. But yeah, since I didn't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy,
and I'm sure that's the case with a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of kind of like an underground Marvel thing. Yeah, it's really popular. It's like a cult thing. I think.
Yeah, like, you could say that. It's definitely people know about it.
Yeah,
a lot of people like it, but it wasn't a huge it wasn't a forefront. It was part of the cosmic universe, which a lot of people don't know much about.
Yeah, unless like the comic book fans know about it, of course, but like just kind of the casual fan doesn't. And I'm just more of that, the casual fan. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there in the theater, and then I see like Marvel, and I'm like, oh, cool, like another epic
Avengers.
Avengers, like
Avengers 2.
Epic movie. And then they start telling these jokes, and like. I'm like, why are they trying to be funny in this Marvel movie?
Yeah, I can't wait for you to see it. I mean, because some parts are they're just like, why did they throw that humor in? But it worked. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, I have so many people that told me, it's just like, oh, it's so funny, bro. Like, I will tell people, like, I haven't seen it. I'll get in the car. I'll pay for it. Like, I'll drive you there. Like, you have to watch this.
It isn't like the Last of Us effect on me, where everyone told me it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I played it, and I was like,
no, I think for sure. Like with those type of things, like I think I'll like it. Okay. I know I'll like it, but it's just one of those things where I saw the trailer
and you didn't want to watch it.
I didn't want to watch it because I thought they were trying to be funny when they didn't. It wasn't part of what it is, So it was kind of like my expectations were kind of like one thing, and they threw it's like if I see a commercial and I see like Seth Rogen, yes. I immediately think it's a comedy.
When you see drama, you're like,
yeah, and, and he can be good in drama.
Yeah,
exactly. And like we said, like Robin Williams is a good dramatic actor, and it's kind of like when you see it, you're like, oh, cool. It's like Eternal Sunshine. With Jim Carrey.
Oh, even though it was a little bit funny, Truman Show wasn't a hilarious movie. It was kind of.
It had humor in it, but it was
dark.
And you watch it, and you come out of there going like, wow, he's a good fucking actor. But anyways, just about expectations, and I think these Warner Brothers people have just like completely misunderstood the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if they're just trying to because they want no jokes, which I don't know what that means still, but maybe it's just less humor. Maybe it's not complete boring, not necessarily boring, but completely serious. Maybe it's just they don't want. because even though a lot of Marvel movies are very serious, they have a lot of like a humorous tone throughout the movie.
Yeah, they do.
Dark Knight had a humorous tone, somewhat very dark, obviously hence the name, but it was a lot more gritty, and Superman even more so.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think Dark Knight, because of Joker, had that dark comedy to it. Yeah. It's just like
us as horrible human beings.
Yeah, laughing. Just like, do you want to see me make this pencil disappear? I'm like fucking laughing in the theater, like that's hilarious. No, but I mean, then Dark Knight Rises. Well, we're trying to think. It was like, how many jokes in there? I can only think of 2 jokes in the whole movie. It's a very serious movie. It's a great movie. Yeah. And they did it the right way because it fits with the expectations of Batman. Like you brought up, like Adam West, like just like that was funny. That was campy. It was a different time, but we're far past that. Like our last experience with Batman before that is the is it Tim Burton? What am I saying? Like what's his name?
Tim Burton. Yeah.
Yeah, the Tim Burton Batman.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, and then obviously you had those other stupid, but I mean, like
those were trying to be like a mix of both.
Yeah, they just didn't work, and they were fucking a horrible failure. But like those, when we think of it, we think of those two. So that's kind of like the tone, and then plus the animated series in the '90s.
Very dark. I mean, it had its jokes. It was I mean, especially with the Joker. Yeah, like you said. But and then Superman. I mean, he wasn't really dark. I felt like his show and his movies were a lot more lighthearted than the newest one was. So I don't see why they're trying to make all their like Shazam is going to come out with The Rock. Shazam is a little kid that gets these powers. I hope it doesn't mean that it's going to be a completely serious movie.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine this little kid that has superpowers isn't going to be able to make jokes? One of the whole things is he has that little kid mentality in his huge body. That's part of the charm of Shazam.
Oh my god, no, that'd be terrible. Like I don't know. I guess they're just trying to replicate Batman. Mm-hmm. But they don't understand why Batman works on a different level than
Superman.
Superman. It's like, for example, too, Captain America. I haven't seen part 1.
I love part 1.
Exactly.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Okay, so here we go. Most people hated part 1. It had. I know almost everybody I know who saw it hated it. Yeah. Right, and I think they had one expectation of it, that it was going to be more of a serious thing, but like. Captain America, as far as I know, is kind of. I think of Boyhood America, like
and
Boy Scout.
That's what I thought the movie showed. Which is what I thought was perfect.
Yeah, and then Superman, the same thing. I think kind of like
Boy Scout,
Boy Scout, nerdy Clark Kent. Like they just eliminated Clark Kent from
he wasn't
from Man of Steel. Like he wasn't even like.
Yeah, I remember I saw the movie, but I didn't care much for it. I already forgot what it was about, but he wasn't even like Clark Kent. I mean, or the Clark Kent we think of, right?
Yeah, no, like they're like in the traditional Superman that I know, there's a very distinct difference between how Superman acts and how Clark Kent acts. Right. And the reason that it works, the only reason that Superman works is Clark Kent, because otherwise, like we said, he's just a god. Like Superman is just a fucking god. Like there's no point in any of the movies. He's gonna fuck everybody up. I don't care how much kryptonite, like but like Clark Kent is what we relate to. He's a nerdy guy who is shy and has a hard time getting Lois' attention.
And it just works on a whole different level too, because even Superman himself, like, or at least Kal, whatever. Yeah, he's in this place that he doesn't feel like he belongs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That is so relatable, and I mean, they kind of threw that too much.
Yeah,
and left out everything else.
Exactly, they left out all the charm in Man of Steel, and I know some people loved Man of Steel.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it was a horrible movie. Yeah. It was just definitely not what I wanted to see.
I legitimately, I mean, everybody has different tastes. I understand. See, to me, the problem is, like, everybody wanted to see Superman, like, as a fucking beast. Like, ever since you're a kid, when you imagine playing as Superman, you see him smashing through walls and
like when your friend says he's Superman, you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, like, oh, man. All right.
I'm done. I'm not even playing with you guys.
So, like, that part of it was cool. Like, it was cool to see the fight scenes.
Yeah, him not... I mean, I guess it was cool, but I didn't like the fact that he actually was able to keep... I mean, well, it made sense for the movie, but I didn't like the fact that he was able to keep up with these super soldiers, you know what I mean?
Who had actually been soldiers. No, but I mean, yeah, just the fight scenes themselves were well done. Like how fast it was, the impact, all that. Like it was well done. But
Dragon Ball Z.
Exactly. It was exactly like Dragon Ball Z. But I had no emotional connection to
Clark, Superman.
Yeah, like I didn't care about him at all.
Like the whole things with his flashbacks, I didn't like feel anything from him. It's just like, why not have, instead of flashbacks, do, you know, an actual little bit of an origin in the beginning?
Yeah,
you know, that would have worked a little bit. Like even if it's just a small one, like they did in the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is like 10 minutes of like a little bit just in the beginning.
Yeah. And that's what I was expecting for them to do, too. I didn't like the flashback function in this movie. I didn't think it worked. They just kept breaking. Like, sometimes it works right because it kind of reveals something that's going to happen.
Yeah,
like,
but they were trying to tell his origin with that. That's like, they could have, like I said, a little bit of the origin and then reinforce it later on with flashbacks.
Yeah.
Instead of just only flashbacks.
So if this is what they're trying to replicate, I don't know if I'm gonna watch, because like I honestly did not like.
I'm gonna watch Batman vs Superman. So I haven't been a huge fan of Ben Affleck, but I'm very interested to see how he does with the Batman role, because they always switch Batmans. You know, like every Batman, every series is a different Batman. So let's see how he does.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think he could do a good job. I don't ever pay attention to the castings, because like no matter who gets cast, it's always terrible. According to the internet,
right.
It's like Heath Ledger as Joker. That's a fucking joke. Like it's terrible. And then
they heard the laugh from the trailer, and they're like,
all right, he's good. He's good.
I never said that. Yeah. You cannot prove it. We have it right here on this YouTube. No.
I never said it. Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. I think he could do a good job, but it's just like if they're trying to replicate Man of Steel, man, like I don't know. Like I literally fell asleep watching the movie, like during the big action scene.
And like unless they do something like, you know, like Injustice did, it was a very serious, like the game Injustice had a very serious tone throughout, but it had characters like the Joker kind of like ruining it. You know what I mean? Like
just throwing little jabs in there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if they can't have any jokes, it's just I'm not gonna.
I don't understand. I just don't. Warner Brothers, hand of God. Warner Brothers came down and said no jokes. Okay, well
they have their own Moses. That's
the crazy.
Commandments.
All right, so this last story, this story has been going around for about a month now, and it's just not going away. Okay, so this is called #Gamergate. I know it sounds weird, but it's a whole internet war that doesn't matter to anybody in real life. Right. But like
these people are like working 9-hour jobs and then come on the internet.
Yeah, like who gives a shit? Like, but I do think it's important to the gaming community. I do think that it brings up some real issues about not just gamers, but how society is raising their kids.
Yeah,
and all that. So let me give you the rundown, long story short type thing. There's this game developer called Zoe Quinn. She's an indie developer, and she made this game called Depression Quest. Very like low key, like not many people would know about it unless you're really into the indie world. But reports came out. I forgot exactly how it happened, but this was confirmed by her that she had slept with several men in the game journalism, in the game journalism stratosphere,
right.
Particularly some people from Kotaku.
Okay,
so it was never confirmed that she, had sex with them to have good reviews.
The internet.
Yeah, like it didn't. It wasn't like, oh, she had sex with them to get coverage or good reviews. But of course,
did she get good reviews? Like
yeah, we should have looked that up. I remember reading Kotaku. Somebody says like, I still can't find the good review for this. But who knows? Everybody's sarcastic,
Right.
But yeah, internet being the internet, of course, everybody assumes that she was sleeping with these men to get good reviews.
And by several, I wonder, like, what does several mean? Also, like, it could
like
be
one guy, twice, like who knows? I mean, if she did it with that intention, good for her. Like get whatever, do whatever you gotta do.
People do it all the time. I mean, if you don't think that happens, like people do it all the time. How do you think some actors get into movies? Stuff like that. Like,
like don't live in this perfect world where people are just don't do anything like that. Now, but is on the game journalist side, that's wrong,
right?
Because if you're taking sexual favors or money, or whatever it is, whatever it may be, then obviously you're not credible at all. Like
it ruins your integrity.
Yeah, your integrity is completely out the window. And so, of course, like I said, this happens this is in the whole Twitter sphere. Like it doesn't matter anything in the real world, but like it became this big thing where the game journalists and were called into question about corruption, about all the or how many people are getting paid to get good reviews and all that type of stuff. And of course, there is so much hate rained down upon Zoe Quinn for her being, people were calling her a whore, a slut, all this type of stuff. So, a couple of days pass, and then the backlash comes, and the game journalists start firing back, and you start seeing all these articles about game developers defending Zoe Quinn, saying that you have no right to call. She can do whatever she wants. Right, she's a woman, and that gamers are misogynistic. Why do women hate gamers? They're tired of all the hate. And so now it's been for a month this constant hashtag Gamergate. If you want to see all this stuff, hashtag Gamergate on Twitter, and you'll see hundreds of thousands of tweets and stories and YouTube videos about this whole fucking thing. About now people are saying that that gamers hate women, or misogynistic, or hate-filled.
I mean, some people do, but like it's one of those things that they're generalizing everyone,
and that's wrong.
Yeah, just like we're generalizing all game journalists.
Exactly. Like so generalization in general.
Yeah, it's just one of the things, like a few people just kind of like, it's that whole thing. A few people just ruin it for everyone else.
No, I agree, and like, I guess what I wanted to ask you in general is like, okay, let's talk about this for real. We play online games. We know everything. When you play online games, we know what the fuck happens. Like we know what people say. Yeah. People talk all this shit, and people say some really crazy, crazy things.
Right.
Do you think that, for one, first question is, do you think most of these gamers are serious?
I don't think so.
Or does it matter?
One, I don't think they're serious at all. I think they're, but the thing isn't that it doesn't matter if they're serious or not. The whole thing is they're trying to get some kind of reaction.
Yeah.
That's the whole trolling mentality.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get a reaction. So, I mean, even if they're not serious, it doesn't really matter because they're putting more wood on the fire. They're just they're just poking everyone, trying to get a bunch of people to get behind them, and then eventually people do.
Yeah. And the second question is then, why do people care what they say if they're just over the internet? Like, should they care? Does it matter? It's
one of those things, like, I find myself sometimes when I'm reading comments, whether on YouTube or Twitter or whatever, it's just like, why are people talking about this shit? And then sometimes I'll be like, I'll be typing, like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I mean, it really depends. Like, some people just have this, like, caring, like, they just go towards it. Like, if it's something they're interested in and something, they just kind of latch on and will protect it or attack whatever it is.
Yeah. And I think it doesn't matter because it is over the internet. And people, like you say, always just like attack. Like,
yeah, it's so hard to tell if someone's being serious. Like sometimes you can tell someone's being sarcastic, but someone else won't.
Yeah.
So you'll laugh at this person, and everyone will be like, "What the fuck? Why are you laughing?" It's like, dude, he's obviously being sarcastic.
He's being sarcastic. Yeah. Some people's sarcastic meter is kind of low.
Or some people try to troll by pretending they know. It's just like, oh god, it's so.
Yeah, it's like a shit storm.
No matter what.
Because I'm the same way as you. Like, most of the times I'll read the comments and I'll be like,
these idiots.
Like, all right, bro. And then sometimes I'm like I'll be typing, but I almost 99% of the time never press enter. I always go like, what am I doing? Like, delete, backspace.
You're not getting me, troll.
Yeah, like, no, dude. Like, but it does, owning a YouTube channel, I can see, like, it's just sometimes the negativity is just, even though it's over the internet, it's not face to face. Sometimes you just get angry and you're just like, and why are these people so negative?
And like, it's also because it's such a large amount.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can get fucking 10,000 people to comment you in 5 minutes over the internet. You get maybe 3 people in real life.
In real life, yeah, exactly. So you get so much feedback that it's impossible to take in. I know, like for example, PewDiePie. Just this week, he said he turned off his comments forever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and like,
because I mean, I used to love YouTube comments.
Yeah,
used to being the word.
Yeah,
and it's now I sometimes, especially because my internet sucks, I just look through them because it's the first thing that fucking loads.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I'm just like, okay. But I mean, you know, that kind of like, I mean, granted, PewDiePie isn't this discussion having person, so it doesn't really matter. But imagine like just everyone even just started doing that, like just turned off all the comments.
And a lot of the big YouTubers have done it. I mean, because Total Biscuit has done that, PewDiePie has done that, and even Boogie said he's considering that. And it kind of sucks because part of what makes it cool is all the feedback.
Yeah, and some of these people, you know, they're very connected to their fans. Like PewDiePie, I don't watch him very much, but he seems like he's connected to his fans.
Yeah.
And if he's not able to get any feedback, good or bad, you know, what's the point of being a YouTuber?
Being a YouTuber.
I mean, besides the money, obviously, but a lot of these people just, I'm sure PewDiePie just start making money, obviously.
Yeah.
He started off just making videos trying to be funny.
And getting feedback, and it was fun getting feedback.
Now, I mean, now he's at a point where I guess he doesn't need feedback, but still, it's always good to have.
Yeah. But so to refocus on the
Gamergate.
On the Gamergate, are most gamers misogynist? I don't know. I mean, I really can't answer that question.
It definitely, to be honest, it seems like they are.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. It's like, people have argued, like, oh, you can't generalize in that. You know, I can't say either way. I know I'm not, and I know I've said things when I play online that could be misogynistic. Like, just because that's just what we do.
Yeah,
like,
and unfortunately, you know, that's a whole different topic, you know? Like, the whole like for example sports, like hazing and whatnot, even just anywhere, like this is just part of the culture. Like it doesn't necessarily mean not everyone's part of it, but you feel completely like what's the word when you detached, like you don't feel a part of the team if you're not doing it, unfortunately. You know, that's why this stuff happens. Yeah,
exactly, because you kind of just conform to the way things happen online. Little side example, which I like when I first started playing online, and people were saying get raped, right? People still say that all the time. They say that all the time. But I remember when I first heard it, I was like, that sounds so stupid. Like I would never say that. Like, and then lo and behold, maybe like 3-4 months later, get fucking raped. Like, you know,
because you hear it so much. Like I used to I used to hear a lot get wrecked. That was cool. Yeah. Like that was, I mean, not cool, but you know, that's what people used to say.
Yeah.
And then it turned into this. I was like, what? When did we? When did we jump so far?
And then eventually, it's not like you don't do it consciously. You just like you hear it so much, and it's just you just get raped. Like, oh, so shit. Like. Does that mean does that mean
you're a misogynist?
Yeah, does that mean no, dude, I treat women with respect in real life. But the question is, I guess, and at the end, the real important question is, when does it matter? And I would say yes and no. No, because it's only online. It shouldn't affect you in real life.
I mean, unless it does affect you in real life, then you have a problem.
Yeah, unless you let words affect you. But the other part of it is, when your interaction is only through online, then
that's true.
Then that's what it is. You know, it's like you can't say like, oh, in real life I'm like this. I say this a lot about pro gamers, because a lot of pro gamers are egotistical, and they'll be really cocky, and they'll be mean to people, and they're like, oh, that's just how he is in game. In real life, he's good.
Yeah.
But like when your whole life is playing the game, then what?
Because there's a lot of these things, like, you know, you see these people, like, especially because they're so forefront in the community, like you see them and they look like assholes.
Yeah.
And then you talk to people that know them, and they're like, no, he's not.
No, he's a really nice guy. You just don't understand him. It's just like, well, that's
his.
How could I? Yeah, like how could I not? Like what? That's all I see. Yeah. Like what am I? You're saying like I'm stupid because I think that like all I see is his cockiness. I don't see him in real life. And so therefore he's cocky to me.
Yeah.
And so if I make a comment to him saying like you're a cocky motherfucker, and then he goes crying about how much hate he gets over the internet, then whose fault is that? Isn't that his fault?
Unless he comes out and like, you know, because some people like that persona.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes some people just like being the person everyone hates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it really like if that's what you're gonna do, that's fine. And some people can handle that.
Yeah.
But then you have those people that are just, especially I guess you call it like the new gen of trying to do that. Like there are these people that think that's what people like, so they try to do it, but don't realize the repercussions.
Yeah, they totally don't realize the repercussions. And actually, one more point to this argument, which is that I wanted to get to, is the core of it, is just kind of like, if this is what people are saying, like we said, eventually we just conform to saying it too.
Right.
Do we eventually conform to believing those things? I don't think we do. But it brings into question is how,
I see.
You know, like, it brings into question is how are kids being raised, like, if they're playing online all the time, like, because I play games all the time, but I mean I totally understand the negative side of gaming, how it can be an addiction, how yes exactly, I know it can be a bad thing. Anything to an extreme is a bad thing. Even fucking exercising too much is a bad thing. Like, you shouldn't run a marathon every day. That's not good for your health. You know what I mean? Eating too much is bad for your health. Eating too little,
eating, you know, this certain food.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatever.
Everything to an extreme is bad. So I definitely understand the negatives of gaming. So if these kids are playing games all day, and all they're hearing is "fuck you, bitch," "you woman, motherfucker," "you fuck you, nigger," "you chink, bitch," "goddamn beater," wetbag, like.
And unfortunately, you know, we already see that because of the internet, you know, and because of how close we've become as a world, per se. You see these like kids are like, what did that 5-year-old just say?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you serious right now? Like,
what? You're so shocked.
Isn't that his mom right there? Like,
what is coming out of his mouth? I can't believe he said that. No, it's definitely. I mean, I don't want to sound like the old grumpy man where but back in my day, blah blah. But things are definitely changing. Yeah. Things are definitely changing.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. I'm just stating that, you know, it's crazy how quickly it changed.
Yeah, and so I definitely see an importance to this argument, because it would be nice if gamers kind of recognize this on a grander scale and recognize that, okay, maybe you're not a woman hater, but you bashing women, even if it's just for fun, you're still teaching other people to do the same. That don't understand. Yeah,
because you do have these, you know, under 10-year-old kids playing Call of Duty. Yeah, and they hear get raped. Yeah, what are they supposed to think? You know what I mean? Like, they're supposed to think it's fine.
Yeah, and what happens when they say that in real life? You know, like, they fucking run into class and beat somebody there, get raped. You know, like, it definitely has some real world repercussions. So I mean, it's a tough argument. I don't think there's a right or wrong.
I think there is a right or wrong answer, but there's not one that works.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Not for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
And it isn't a black and white thing. Not all game journalists are taking money, but I know some of them are.
Yeah, like, and whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna listen to your review.
Yeah, exactly. No? And then same thing. Not all gamers are misogynists. Not all gamers are haters. But there's definitely some there are. And it definitely seems, they're definitely more vocal. Yeah, they're definitely more vocal, and they get on the internet and tell people what they think, and so it kind of might skew people's vision of what gamers really are. From my experience, when I play with my friends, everybody might say things like that, but none of them are actually like, you know, none of them are
really. Especially like your cousin, you know, when I see him, he's not like that, but in game, it's like, what is he saying?
Yeah, what's coming out of his mouth? It's a fine line. But anyways, guys, Destiny comes out tomorrow. We are pumped up to play. Next week, we'll definitely talk a lot about Destiny and about our kind of, not final thoughts, but just our progressing thoughts as the game rolls out and see what happens. More of it. Yeah, and we'll see. Yeah. Hopefully, you guys. Well, I'm gonna do a giveaway next week on Destiny, right, and some Control Freak stuff. So keep an eye out, keep an ear out, and, you know, hopefully you get to win.
Yeah, hopefully I'll win, like always. I win every prize here. I don't win anything.
Stop lying to them. All right, guys, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.